Yes, 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 yes. My apologies for the NBA intro and the NBA background. I should have changed the background at least. But y'all know who it is. And if you don't know, live right now on Twitch, try Wham on Twitter or X as they would say. This is Who-Bangin Sports Talk on YouTube. I'm going live on Twitch. Something I'm doing a little new here. So shout out to Twitch there. But if you are on there, hit the follow. Make sure you see the notifications, hit the notice. You know what I'm saying? Do it up for your boy. Shout out to that. Yeah, so start off. This will be not nothing about this have nothing to do with any type of let me double check here. How can I get see they changed things around here on your StreamYard. I haven't been on StreamYard so much. I've been running on OBS for so long. I kind of forgot how to switch the I forgot how to switch it. Switch the background. Here we go. Here go the background. Here go the background. This is the one I need. The NFL background. We got the shield behind me. And as I do that, we're gonna bring up some off-season stuff, some talk about some stuff. It's gonna be interesting. I will not have any guaranteed, locked in, official, anything. So if you're looking for that, this is not the show for you. Again, we're live on Twitch. Certain things I can't even talk about. Certain things I can't even talk about on there. So, yeah, we're gonna do it up on right now on YouTube though. So we're gonna talk about a few different things. I got a lot of stuff I'm liking. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of stuff that I'm liking as far as preseason wise. Before the season, I'm sorry. Not necessarily anything in the actual games from preseason, nothing at all. But there are some players, some teams that I think that have a chance to win the Super Bowl, teams that have the chance to win each, their respected conferences, uh, AFC, uh, NFC. I think the NFC East will be tough for sure this year. I think the NFC East will be tough. It was like that last year. I kind of think it's just guaranteeing that is they're all there are going to be people that are just falling off for sure. But I think the NFC as far as the East, and that's what I want to do too. I want to give my quick thoughts. I want to get my quick thoughts on some of these divisions here. So let's talk about each division. Start off with the NFC East. We just talked about it. The Eagles, obviously, world champions. Let's start there. Give respect where respect is due. Give respect where respect is due. Shout out to the Eagles. Shout out to the Eagles winning the championship. After that, obviously, they did the fine tune, making improvements. They're going to do what they're going to do. Off season wise, you know, they're moving. They're going to make moves. They're not going to be stagnant. And it doesn't seem like any other teams in this division was stagnant. Even going to the next team, the New York Giants. New York Giants. Crazy thing about the New York Giants is let me see here. Where did I have that at? My apologies, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Giants. What the I had so much on these guys too. Hold on. My fault, y'all. Okay, so the Giants, they have one of the tougher uh roads here. I know one of the easiest strength of schedules. That's what I say. They have one of the easiest strength of schedules, but they have like inside internet conference. Obviously, it's a little tough, but they have the easiest schedule. Its win total is expected to be something around like 6. They expected to win. They're projected to win by 6. You know what I'm saying? That'll be getting a positive gain from last year, I believe. I believe they were worse than that for sure. They did pick high in the draft. They are expected to have quarterback um, competition, but I think they did just come out and said they're going to lock in. If I'm not mistaken, I think they did just come out and said they was going to lock in on somebody here. So it's going to be interesting to see where the direction is. I think that they did prioritize defense last year as far as the Giants. This year, it seems like they prioritize offense. You know what I'm saying, on the offseason. So I think that that's going to just correlate to them improving. Um, yeah, I think they're going to improve here. So the fact that they got the work, the easiest schedule as well, that's going to help them. Excuse me. Um, yeah, I thought it was the other way around. Yeah, I thought it was the other way around. I thought they got the toughest schedule. Let me double check, y'all. I think they got the toughest schedule. I'm tripping, y'all. That's what I thought. I was reading this wrong. Oh, I thought they had the toughest joint coming into this joint. Yeah, the one team that I think that had the hardest joint. Yeah, they saying the easiest one is the 49ers right now. The opponent win percentage last year is 41%. So the toughest is like I thought, exactly what I thought. It was the Giants. So Giants coming in with the toughest schedule. But again, I still think that that's just predicating to, again, this being one of the toughest divisions in the East. That's what I was getting to. I'm like, that shit just threw me off what I just read. Like, how did they have them 32? But there it is. I understand now. Yeah. So yeah, they have the toughest schedule, the Giants. The next team in their division is going to be the fourth toughest schedule in the Eagles. After that, it's the Cowboys, and then the Commanders, which is coming in at the top 10 status there for the Commanders there with the top 10 toughest schedules here is coming out of this conference. I think that has to do a lot of these guys beating up on each other. There will be some times where you think that one team is going to win and the other team end up coming out winning. I think a lot of that's going to be with the Giants. I think the Giants are going to be a little bit more tougher than with the what you seeing from them as of late recently. I think they're getting a little bit more competent and more consistent with the quarterback. Not the quarterback. I'm sorry. That's the thing that they're not consistent with. But as soon as they get consistent with that, that's what's going to help them out for sure. But I think that the Giants are going to be one of those teams that I'm going to keep an eye on early, even though they got again like the toughest schedule. I still think that they projected to win by 6. I think they could get 6. I think we could get 6 out of these boys. You know what I'm saying? Like they first game is against the Commanders on the road. After that, they played Cowboys on the road. Then they played Chiefs at the house, which I should be able to go to that game. That's a Sunday night game. I may be able to go to that game in New York against the Chiefs. I might be there because we gotta again, Who-Bangin Sports Talk. We're running a competition. Well, not a competition, but we're having another event. This event is going to be on the west. On last event was on the West Coast in Las Vegas. This year we're going out to the east side. So y'all be tuned, stay tuned, be locked in. Shout out to all the people that follows on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We are going to Atlantic City from September 18th to the 22nd. Myself will be there. Other legendary handicappers will be there. We're going to go crazy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be energetic. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have fun. We're going to go straight with the mindset that we're going to win every play that we play. And when we go in there, we're going to do all that. So shout out to Atlantic City. Shout out to the people that's going to be out there for the meetup. We will be out there in Atlantic City. Do not miss your chance to hang out with some legendary people, legendary handicappers. Yeah, and again, that third week, the Chiefs play this Giants team after they done came out with two opponents, two divisional. First home game is against the Chiefs. And that's a good game to check out. That's a good game to check out, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be in New York around that time. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be in New York around that time, and if I am, for sure, I'm going to go to the game. So shout out to that. Never been to the stadium out there. Shout out to that. I would definitely love to do that. So locking in. Hold on, my fault, y'all. Trying to fix this. All right. Okay. So all right. So what I was saying. Okay. So the Giants, I think that's a good sneaky team. So let's go skip the Cowboys. Cowboys gonna be out of pocket, whatever the case. Well, let's go to the next game. Next team. Let's keep it in the NFC. Go to the next division, the NFC North. Chicago Bears. They get a second year at quarterback for their rookie quarterback from last year, the former number one overall pick, boy out of USC. He gets a second chance out there. DJ Moore had a bad year last year, right? So like you have DJ Moore coming off of like her like a crazy run, with fucking who put fucking quarterbacks, and you're number one overall pick. You got DJ Moore looking pedestrian out there, so that's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely not a good look. And you know how these people be quick to get rid of your ass, especially if you doing the wrong thing, coming in cocky, doing all that shit, and you're not performing. But there is out upside to holding on and sticking with guys too, because Sam Bradford looks pretty good right now. I said Sam Bradford. Sam Darnold. Darnold looks good right now. And then you see Baker Mayfield looking good right now as well. So those two guys will be, catalysts to show if you do stick with a quarterback for a little stint, for a longer stint than you need to, let him go through the motions. He'll be able to show improve and show improve. That would be something that we do talk about there with the Dalton there and the boy Baker. But in this quarterback crazy NFC North, you got the boy Caleb Williams, you got Jared Goff, you got my boy Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love makes a step. He has to make a step. This is Jordan Love's for sure. You got to show you worth the spread. Like, bro, you got to really go crazy. And I think you got to let him do a little bit more as well on the running game, passing the ball. And now he's not a running rear, but just getting a little bit more bootleg action. I think you got to switch it up, make it a little bit more backyardish for Jordan Love. Jordan Love thrives in that type of environment. I think that's where you're gonna go, especially with all the wide receivers becoming back healthy. A lot of them was all over the place. They have a plethora wide receivers over there on the Packers. I think all those guys, Dobbs and all those guys, play really well this year. Be great fantasy lookups because I think Jordan Love is the fantasy guy you want this year. So I think Jordan Love go crazy, and I think the Packers play really well this year. So I think the Packers play well enough to win this division. The Detroit Lions right there. Of course, they're going to be right there. They have a crazy offense. Offense is going to only get more improved. The more you get Gibbs involved, the better this Detroit Lions offense is going to be because you don't have that much to rely on with the boy Jared Goff and all them. So even though he's been playing phenomenal as well. So no shade to him. But going back to Minnesota too, they gave him their former rookie a shot here. He will be the quarterback for this Minnesota team. I think they've seen enough from him, so we're gonna have to see what that's about. I think this is like I said, the best quarterback division for sure by far. But I think it's just showing improve because a lot of these guys are going to be showing improve here. And starting off, if the Vikings do have a player, and I forgot his name, but they do have a player and a kid there. They're going to be pretty good there. So going to the the AFC. Let's go to the AFC. I want to go with the AFC South. This is one of those divisions that people don't want to talk about, but I'm going to start talking about it here because I got a clip here, and the clip that I'm going to show is the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to play this clip here.
Now that we're at camp, it's not really necessarily the time to flip a switch. It's kind of been on since really post-surgery, recovery, trying to get back healthy and learning the new system. All that stuff is put a lot of time in this offseason into making sure I'm ready to go this season. And I say that too because I have a lot of confidence in what we're doing here and the system, the staff, the new players we brought in, the guys that have already been here, like the culture, everything we're building here. I really have a lot of confidence and belief in what we're doing and that we're doing it the right way. And I think that, frees me up in a lot of ways and kind of allows me to say that and feel confident about it.
All right, so my fault, my fault. So that's your boy. That's your boy, uh, Trevor Lawrence. If you wasn't able to hear that, my apologies. I didn't have enough time to go back and check and see if that was working on audio there. But if it wasn't, then my apologies there. But pretty much what he was saying is that he feeling a little bit more confident, a little bit more free, a little bit easier to speak. Feel like he could talk a little bit more. And if that's the case, then you wasn't able to talk this whole time. You was having being like handcuffed. You couldn't speak your mind, couldn't be honest. That's terrible, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're not that type of player, if you're not that type of leader already in the locker room, somebody can't. This ain't fucking college, bro. Some people can't lead men. You know what I'm saying? Some people just can't lead men. And I don't think that type of, you know what I'm saying, confidence that he's shown, even if it is like a new situation and you got to like, I don't think this shit helps out. And that's one of the things I think that's been hurting certain quarterbacks that don't got pull like they used to, like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers can't come in these situations and come in like he got pulled. Something similar to like a situation like with Trevor Lawrence right now, even though he is in the situation where he is a former number one overall pick, yada yada, whatever the case, that ain't stopping nobody from pulling the plug on bro after this year. So I think that he's in a situation where everything is going to be looked at as a magnifying glass. And if it's not looked at a magnifying glass, then that shows he does have some sort of pull or there's outside influence that's keeping him in the situation. And I'm going to say this, talking about this straight up. Trevor Lawrence is definitely on a hot seat right now. I'm feeling just as hard on Trevor Lawrence as if this is Daniel Jones. And y'all see Daniel Jones got another gig. You know what I'm saying? So he could get another gig too. I'm sure he could. But not on my watch. You're not gonna hold it. They're not gonna do all this offensive draft work and trade up in the draft to get players just for you to fail. And you know what I mean? Especially when they're getting, legendary talents like the kid from Colorado. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that with the Jaguars. I think that they are probably in an off situation, man. It's maybe not as favorable again for them. And if that's the case, they're giving me Clipper vibes over there. And it's been like that. And we should have been no. They had one good moment with the Duval, when they had the defense cooking lights out, going crazy. That was like their best era, but ain't been good since then, man. So shout out to them. But whatever the case, I think that's what that is about. That's what that's about. Going back into one of these situations where we bring back up one of the toughest schedules. We're gonna go into, if you had any AFC South of having any tough situations here, you're gonna add, quarterback situation, quarterback, whatever the case. But I think the upside for this team is that they kind of went punt mode on quarterback. Um, as far as the Tennessee Titans, and let's pull them up. Let's pull them up. All right, so the Tennessee Titans starting off with Cameron Ward at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They coming in hot, selecting Cameron Ward at quarterback at a situation where they're not in a bad spot on the as far as the strength of schedule. Their average opponent win percentage is around 45% last year. So the teams that they're going up against this coming up year, last year, they won at 45%. Now, Titans, Cameron Ward, rookie quarterback, getting a starting job. He has Calvin Ridley over there. Tyler Lockett, who just told everybody he was a virgin. What was wrong with bro? What's wrong with bro? What's wrong with bro? Tyler Lockett, why are you telling people you a virgin, bro? What's your problem, bro? What is your problem? Why is that the first thing? That might be pause on my behalf. Pause if that's the case, but what? That's the notable thing I remember about you, bro. You even held it down. Come on, bro. Shout out to bro, but golly, what is up with him? Yeah, man, what's up with bro? So yeah, neither here nor there. I'm not even gonna. What was that? 45% though. 45% is what their strength of schedule rule, which is ranked about fourth fourth easiest in the upcoming season. Tennessee Titans maybe in a upside situation. They don't necessarily have a super duper hard start to the regular season. They do go on the road starting off against the Denver. That's a tough ass game off top, just starting off there. But again, you come out playing really well in that game, you shock people. That's how this starts off. This is how you start off being one of those upside stories, catching people off guard there. So that game will be one of their highest ticket selling games of the year out there in Denver. $74. $174 is one of their highest. That's one of the highest ticket sales for the Tennessee Titans this year. It doesn't get that much higher until they go to Vegas, and it's only $2 more. So even the one in Vegas is only $2 more. Vegas is high, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Vegas is high. So Tennessee Titans are not expected to win, or they're not expecting to just show up enough to go crazy. Their highest home game is against Kansas City, and I think that's possibly being that they expect a lot of Kansas City fans to have to pay to see Patrick Mahomes out there. I think that's probably what that's about. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And I mean, that probably goes into the consideration that they want to see Taylor Swift there in Tennessee too. So let's add that all into the too. Come on now. Come on now. That's adding in Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift up those prices every time. Come on now. That's crazy. So yeah, so Tennessee Titans, I think interesting enough. I think that they have a cool enough shot to go over their, to hit their projected win spot. I think they're in a positive size of projected wins to come into this season. And that's starting off with possibly winning on the road in Denver. You know what I'm saying? Again, another team that I think that built on defense last year in the offseason and did so rightfully so, had good success on that side of the ball last year. Just obviously didn't have enough offense to win games. So that enough, again, I think that helps them this year because they focus mostly on offense. Getting certain guys like the number one, like the guy Cameron Ward, though. So yeah, interesting enough. I think the Tennessee Titans will be a win percentage a little bit better there. But some of these teams got a bum. These teams do got a bum, and don't think that this isn't saying that they're going to be a playoff team or nothing like that. I'm just saying that they're going to be a possible team that you look into every week. They could get some guys that got on good fantasy outcomes, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. So Tennessee Titans, I'm not going to just call them super bums off the jump. We're going to give them some grace. Indiana Colts, by other than why what I would say is something that I kind of think I'm going to go in with the same mindset that what I seen last year is probably what I'm going to get this year. And that being said, if they run the boy dry, I want to take him early in the season. I want to take the boy Richardson early in the season before he get banged up too much. And that's how I want to do it. Shout out to the people out here, man. Said cheap viewers on streamer, bro. Let's move. Come on, bro. I don't even need that. I don't even want it. Yeah, I don't even want it. I don't even want it. But shout out to the Twitch comment though. I appreciate it though. I ain't gonna lie. I appreciate it. Shout out to the Twitch community, period, man. Shout out to Twitch in general though. But going into because I'm about to do some reactions too a little bit later on. I'm gonna do some reactions. Uh, we get some music popping up in here too because it's only right. We're doing this live on YouTube, live on Twitch. We're gonna go crazy. But yeah, so yeah, that was the one thing that I did want to talk about on that. I didn't talk about the best thing that I like the most, the thing that I like the most out of all this predicting as far as the NFL. The best thing, the thing that I like the most, outside of like me thinking that the Jaguars are gonna fall flat. I think the Jaguars are just gonna fall flat. And it's unfortunate because I want them to do well, at least offensively, and that's the reason why they're gonna fall flat. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna fall flat defensively. I think they're just offensively is gonna be just what it is. But the Colts, you know, shame on me, you fool me once, shame on, that type of shit. So I gotta see them again. I gotta see what's going on with the Colts. I think they're gonna do the same thing they did last year. But the Houston Rockets here. I always do that. Why I always do that? This is the script. Why am I saying the Houston Rockets? Houston Texans. Why am I saying the Houston Rockets, even though they got KD now? But that's the reason why I like this. I think Houston is one of those spots that the America is going to hold on to. They're trying to curate Houston to be in not just the party spot for Texas, but I think they're going to really just focus this in to being like an entertainment hub. I think the Houston eventually within the next few years, next 10 years, it's going to be looked at as like bigger than it ever was. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to remember Houston blowing up for, chopped and screwed. We're going to be labeled old for that because there's going to be a new boom. And I think the new boom is something that's under the works right now. And that starts off with having pretty good sports teams. And I think the sports teams in this area are going to be pretty freaking good. And they already been good with the Astros. They starting to get even better with the Rockets. I think they're only going to go up with the Rockets there. And then we got to talk about the Texans here because the Texans been caught people off guard and they've been wrote in the bad side of the script twice in the playoffs. Wrote in the bad side of the script. And the reason why I say that though is because they have the quarterback. They have the players. They just need to fine tune something, fine tune one type of story. They just need one good white boy on defense. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? One good white boy on defense. They just need one. Just one.
Smoke weed every day.
Just one. Just one. Because if I get one white boy on defense that could, throw it off a little bit, or a Hispanic or something like that. And the reason why I say this because you need a little contrast out there when you watching it on the big screen because we trying to put you big screen, baby. We're trying to put you on the big screen. So yeah, Houston Texans, they need one good player away. And it may be, somebody that could just fit the role that I'm talking about. A contrast type player. Maybe not giving the same type of personality. Maybe it's just that. It could be the same color. It's just not the same personality. It could be that, you know what I'm saying? But I think Houston is one player away. They're getting better, getting healthier on defense too. That's helping them out a lot for me this year. So I think that they're a team that I'm going to keep an eye on and maybe able to take that extra step after getting, shut out twice in the playoffs. I think, they're going to still cruise during the regular season, but once we see what they're at in the last few moments in the regular season, last few weeks of the regular season, I think that's going to be enough for us to be able to have confidence in their playoff performance. And I think the Houston Texans make a playoff push, playoff leap this year because they've been wrote in the bad side of the script. And I think that's going to help them out long game wise. Yeah. So long game wise, they good. the next team, let's go to AFC West. So we didn't talk about the East or the North. We're gonna go AFC West, and then we're gonna jump back into the NFC West. So we're gonna go West Side here. It's kind of like my favorite because these are the games that I get to watch easy, I guess, whatever the case, as people would say. Let's start off with the Denver Broncos. We already said that their first game is against a poop putt team. Poop putt team. Tennessee Titans should be easy. Their team's opponent win percentage last year was 50% as far as the Denver Broncos. That's league average. Around league average, damn near. It's about league average. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too big, nothing too crazy. Their division has some quarterbacks in it now. Geno Smith is on the Raiders. The boy Patrick Mahomes over there on the Chiefs. The boy Justin Herbert get a second crack at it with the coach that he had, and he pretty much liking the vibes over there. They look like they're taking a step. But this boy Bo Nix, year 2, with Sean Payton cheating ass. He's cheating. That motherfucker was cheating, nigga. He was cheating. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. It's cool though. It's cool. He cheating. Shout out to bro because he figured it out. He know what to do. He got it. He know what to do. He know what to do. I'm not mad at bro. I'm not mad at Sean Payton over there. So their defense is always stellar. They always have a home court advantage for sure. Rather if there's people in there or not, the fact that they have the elevation outside element, that's an advantage for them. That all being said, I think that this Denver Broncos team is only good as their offense is going to grow. And what I do not know is how is this team? Let's go ahead. Let's just talk about Bo Nix. Okay, he did great. Cortland Sutton, he was about to be gone, but he had a good year. Boom. But look, let me listen to me. Marvin Mims. All right, let's run it up, bro. Serviceable. Devon Ville. That's where I want to start. Evan Ingram. Godly. This had to go somewhere else, right? He had to get chilly. He went for the money. I ain't mad at him. They need you over there. They gonna miss you so much. Evan Ingram, they gonna miss you so much in Jacksonville. This is how I know. That I said serviceable Mims, but Ville and Evan Ingram, they might open up this offense so much for this team. I don't know. I just don't know. Running back situation proved to be said. RJ Harvey, first string. After that, J.K. Dobbins coming off a pretty good year. Injury, of course, history, but coming off a good year, so it is what it is there. But again, I don't know. Broncos need to give me some offense. If they got the offense, they could win the division. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna win the division. They will win the division. If they have offense, they will win the division. Again, Kansas City is on the other side of this now. They're not going to always be up here now. Now we're talking about legacy. It's all legacy talk now with them. It's all legacy. It's no more, they win another championship. It's like, yeah, they got a dynasty, but it's like legacy. Like, you know what I'm saying? They talking about Bill Belichick and Tom Brady shit. This year, though, I don't know. Because I really like what's going on with the next two teams I haven't talked about. Even though we just talked about one of the best teams, I think, in this game, in this series, in the Denver Broncos. But again, they can lose that first game. Them losing that first game is not going to kill them either, though. Because, again, they play the Titans at home. After that, they go on the road against the Colts in a dome. They play another dome game against the Chargers. Then they go home against the Bengals. The Bengals is a Sunday night game. No, it's a Monday night game. My apologies. That's a Monday night game against the Bengals. So there is some time difference in between that they get a little rest after those 2 road games. But again, they're dome games for a team that's normally being in a row. So that is kind of helping. I think that's going to help them out too. So I think the the interesting part here, and that they just got. Oh, I just seen this too. I forgot. I just seen this. Jonathan Cooper was that they? No, that Jonathan was it? Who's that? Let's say second string. Let's say second string, but I think he's like that nickel guy. Drew Sanders. Oh, okay, maybe that was a. Oh yeah, I wasn't that big of a deal. I thought I just seen that. That was a big deal. That wasn't a big deal. But that's kind of that's cold though. Like losing guys right now just because they started full practices and all that shit. I'm just reading something right here, but I think Evan Ingram will be an offensive spark though. He was so phenomenal for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's only going to go from the upside here, and I think they're going to figure out a way to make him, something as of late. You know what I'm saying? We know Sean Payton had Jimmy Graham. You know what I'm saying? And I think there will be a situation similar to that, if not even better, for Evan Ingram, just like last year. I see. But yeah, that's how I feel about the Broncos. I'm gonna just leave too much on there. I don't leave too much on the bone for that. We'll talk about other stuff later on. Kansas City, like I said, I think they're on a downhill. I say this almost last few years, and they finally way up in the Super Bowl. So I'm not going to go too crazy here. I'm not going to go too crazy, but I am going to say that I do think Kansas City will be making more of a decline. They're being more reliant on deep threat balls. I think if you take that away from them, figure out their run game, that's going to be one of the key forms of what you're going to try to stop them this year. And I think once you stop the deep ball, it's just going to be hard because the guy fast as hell. But Xavier Worthy's already, I think he already showed he's pretty fast. So we'll see what that is. But the Vegas Raiders, yes, got to cash in sometime. You got to cash in. Y'all done took up so much money from the NFL. We built this stadium. We got all these high prices on these tickets. We got the parking situation crazy over there. Come on, like, y'all got to figure this out. Y'all got to figure this out. Y'all got to start winning because eventually we gonna have to start, giving the discount, letting little kids come in. We're gonna start doing some other stuff. We're gonna kick y'all out. We're gonna bring somebody else in Vegas. That'd be funny. They start kicking teams out that suck. Like the A's get there for a couple of days, and all of a sudden the A's is gone. Nah, y'all gotta go. I don't know the family here and all that, but look, y'all ain't about to just have us losing. Vegas start kicking out teams that's losing, like the Raiders. The Raiders get kicked out because they losing is crazy, y'all. That'd be funny, bro. That'd be funny. So the Raiders, man, I think they did what they were supposed to do. They locked in a quarterback. And then that's pretty cool. Like Geno Smith, it's not that bad, bro. The best thing they could have did was that. Second best thing they could have did was lock in the running back. Ashton Gentry, lock in with bro. I like that pick. Even though he's mild, he's ran in Boise State. He was ran in Boise State. He gonna get ran again in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? He about to be running in the NFL too. And I think he like the number one paid running back in the NFL right now already, just because he's a number 2 or number 3 pick or something like that. Come on, bro. Let's not play around. He is going to get ran. He will be used. Geno Smith is not going to be. They're going to be running the ball. They're going to be looking in on defense. There's going to be a lot of Max Crosby blitzes, things of that nature going on. You feel me? That's what I'm thinking. But Jacoby Myers had a pretty good game, but pretty good year last year. I think he gets a little bit better with a quarterback he can lock in with. The thing that I'm interested in is if the running back situation does become an issue, right? Let's just say the rookie ain't it, or he get, God forbid, hurt. You after that, y'all so weak at running back. Y'all gonna be the first ones out there. We need some help at running back. We need some help at running back. Just because all your eggs are in the damn rookie's hands right now at running back. That is scary. But again, it's boomer bust there. That is kind of like boomer bust to me. I'm looking at it, it's like they have a situation with they're relying too much on the rookie. I think you're putting too much on the rookie, even though he's getting paid handsomely. You feel me? Shout out to bruh. Shout out to bruh, you know. But interesting enough, I think that their offense is going to be a lot better. So I'm cool with I'm cool to see where they're going to go there. Their first 5 games are quite interesting. They play the Patriots in New England. After that, they play the Chargers on at the house. Then they play the Commanders. They go on the road again back to the East Coast to play in DC against the Commanders. Then they play the Bears back in the West Coast. Then they fly back out. They fly back out to the Colts. So they're doing a lot of mileage within those five games, and it's on, off, on, off, on, off. So they're being like the most traveled early out of NFL players. So it is going to be one of those teams like by the time they play the Bears or or the Colts, they might get smoked just because they tired of driving around. Like it's tired of flying around. So they first 5 games, you want to key in on injuries. Like I said, man, I bet I will be locked in on fading these niggas, man, on everything if they lose their running back. I'm not clowning. They will definitely be a fade spot for sure. So the Raiders, boomer bust, and it could be a lot of boom. Like again, I think they could be one of the better teams that have pumped the Chiefs down. I think they could be better than the Chiefs here. So again, it's gonna be interesting to see how this all plays out here. Chargers, I think the Chargers are gonna be a lot better as well. Another reason why I think the Chiefs, outside of their defense, as long as if their defense is stellar, then they're gonna and they get the calls like people expect. You know what I'm saying? But I think all that stuff start to go away a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see how it works. But I'm a little different on that. I'm a little different on that. Man, this whole time, bro, we've been on 42 minutes. I still haven't noticed. I still haven't seen if I am live, if it's working. Shout out to that. Shout out to that. Let me see what's going on. I gotta be, bro. I gotta be though, right? I gotta be. Yeah, I'm good. I'm live. Yeah, I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm straight. All right, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, shout out to the people though, man. Let me I ain't even shared this shit. Oh my god, I'm over here tripping, bro. Shout out to y'all. All right, we in here, we locked in. But look, not even about it's not even about um being right or being right now. I'm not even trying to be right now. I'm trying to be, you know, thought. I want to be objective. I want to be, into what's going on day to day. I want to be locked in. So right now we could be wrong. But again, I think that the Chiefs, their defense is a little bit slacked. Their offense is going to already take a backseat. So their whole team will. And then that may be just enough to get them notches down in the division. And that might be looking towards, lower expectations for that team. So I think the Chargers will be good. I think the Raiders, boomer bust. Chiefs are going to be downgraded, and I think the Broncos can win a division. So that is my thought process there with the AFC West. Going into the NFC West, and we got 2 more NFCs, 2 more AFCs here. So let's go rapid fire, pretty much. I'm just gonna get us up out of here. The Rams. Nah, don't worry about the back situation with the quarterback. Don't worry about the back situation. That's what they telling us. That's what they keep telling us about the boy over there with the starting quarterback for the Rams. And I'm looking at them We looking at the Rams here, right? Matthew Stafford, like fourth year or third year with the Rams, or fourth, I think it's third year with the Rams. That's interesting. Jimmy G coming off the back. He off the back there. I like Jimmy G coming off the bench for this team. Puka going crazy. Devontae Adams on this team is freaking crazy. It's out of pocket. Tutu Atwell was pretty good last year as well. You know what I'm saying? But Devontae Adams coming out to this team, it's just out of this world. You know what I'm saying? Puka Nakua, Devontae Adams, two players, and Devontae didn't play really well last year. You know, with the Jets, he didn't play really well with the Jets. So you know, we gotta put that in mind. You know, he hasn't been playing pretty solid all the way, but I think that it frees up Puka, frees up Devontae. The injury with the boy Cooper Cup, even that was like still having Puka go crazy. So I think just having a guy that's moving around healthy, like Devontae, that's going to help them out a whole lot there. So the Rams offense is going to be good. Their defense is going to be something we got to look into, but I think they're going to always be there, locked in. As far as keeping it rapid fire, I think their first 5 games is going to be tough, and it is one of the toughest in the. Let me see. I think it's top. No, it's middle of pack. Middle of the pack. 49%. Middle of pack. League average range there. So it's not necessarily too crazy. It's underneath the Broncos there. So it's like, yeah, it's like whatever. Underneath the Raiders. It's like whatever. It's like whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so they played Texans though. And the Texans is the first game in LA. Then they go on the road against the Titans again, where I don't think it's cupcake. So Titans games on the road. Then they play the Eagles on the road, which is a game that I should be able to go to. Another game that I should be able to go to. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this game. This game might be one of the games I should be able to go to here. So shout out to the Eagles and Rams game. I may be able to go to that game. We will be in that area. So shout out to that. Yeah, so shout out to anybody that haven't been aware. We are going to Atlantic City. If you didn't know, now you know. Who-Bangin Sports Talk second annual meetup is going to be in Atlantic City. We're taking over the tri-state area September 18th to the 22nd. I will be there. Other legendary handicappers will be there. We'll be paid. We will get all of this. I was going to say something else. We will be getting all of the advantages of being together and being able to fellowship and make money in the right way, doing it the right way, trying to beat the books the right way, with no, with real hard cash on the line. So we'll have a lot of a lot of stuff, free stuff for people that's coming out. If you are in the tri-state area, come through, holler at us. Who-Bangin Sports Talks. Again, if you're in New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, anywhere in the surrounding areas of the tri-state area, hit us up, DM or anything like that. We're giving out free merch, free information, and you never know. I'm gonna buy drinks. We buying drinks, doing it up like that. So have fun around September 18th to the 22nd. It is around the week 3, and again, this week 3 game against the Rams Eagles is in Philadelphia, and we do have action on going to this game. So I think we will be in attendance on that game. So shout out to that. But so yeah, we'll be locked in on that game. I think the Eagles gonna win that game. Eagles gonna win that game, bro. I think the Eagles gonna win that game. So yeah, and after that they play the Colts at the house in LA, and then they play Prime Video. I think this is a short week. Yeah, I think this is a short week trip situation for the Rams. They play the Niners. That's going to be a hard game for them to play here on Prime. It's a Thursday night game, and that's week 5 here. So their first 5 games tough for the Rams. That's the only pushback I have for the Rams is that their first 5 games, I can see them being 1-4. You know what I'm saying? For sure. I can see them being 1-4 for sure. After that, man, we go into a team that expected to have impact and better outcome from the quarterback here. And then Kyler Murray going to a lot of years here You know what I'm saying, with this team is Marvin Harrison's second year. Very underwhelming rookie campaign for Marvin Harrison. Thought he was going to be a lot better than that. He was projected high in the fantasy, outlook coming into last season, out of college. So he was regarded high. I think he's going to have upside for sure, but I don't think he could he might not even be number one. I think Michael Wilson could possibly even be number one quarterback, wide receiver in this situation here. We're gonna have to see. Greg Dortch looked great last year. I think he's going to be making this stride. So it's all up to Kyler Murray, of course. We have to see him get locked in with his players here. That's going to be hard to, it's going to be hard to lock in and see what that is. But James Conner getting healthy is going to help out a lot for them. And Trey Benson was pretty solid too last year. So I'm not even going to say too much about that. But I think the Cardinals, they're not necessarily one of those teams that I'm going to be trying to, be looking into. So yeah, underperforming or maybe just like average here. So I think it's going to be average. But this is a tough division here. San Francisco, boomer bust, bro. Golly. Boomer bust. It's like once you start to have to pay your players and they start to get hurt, and they, once you start to like a guy like Brock Purdy contract starts to play in outside of his contract, now you gotta pay, bro. It just don't work out. It never really has to work. It never works out like this. Like you gotta pay guys like Ayuk, you gotta pay Christian McCaffrey, you gotta pay these guys. Now it's Trent Williams. Like you gotta pay these guys. You have to pay Trent Williams. If you're gonna pay Trent Williams, nobody's gonna get blocked. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay him, bro. And then once you get that, then you start to that's when you want to look to, we don't want to trust this team. We can't trust this team. We can't trust this team. You know what I'm saying? And that's because the other teams are catching up because they have guys on better contracts, team friendly contracts that are allowing them to get better guys in certain other positions. And it's giving them a risk advantage. And that alone is putting teams like the 49ers that has an older core, you know what I mean? They're like the Golden State Warriors in the NFL right now. You know what I'm saying? They're stuck with a team that, they got a situation there, but that is what it is there. Yeah, I think the Niners, I would think average as well. I think it's an uptick situation here for the Seahawks, though. So the Seahawks, quite interesting here. No Geno Smith, not going to be here. They're going to go Sam Darnold. He played really well last year. Jackson Smith, JSN, you could just kind of blame Geno for some things. You can't, you could throw it off and not blame Geno for some things, but I think JSN is going to benefit off of having a guy like Sam Darnold. And I think that's going to help him out, not having Tyler Lockett around as well, and having guys like Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp being there, and Michael Scanley. I think Scanley, that spot is going to be right around here. There's going to be other guys that's going to be flowing in and out in the wide receiver spot here, I think, for the Seahawks. So that's going to be interesting to see with Kenneth Walker and Zach. Those 1-2 combos at running back is going to always feed well for the quarterback that's going to be at the number one spot. So if it's Geno or if it's Sam Darnold, I think both of those quarterbacks would do great in this damn team. And this is probably what Cam Newton was trying to talk about. He could have brought these two guys up in perfect example. Like Sam Darnold shouldn't have to worry coming into this season because he's seen Geno being successful in the same spot. And it's something similar. You give enough time, you can find a professional way to be able to get guys wins here. And you got enough talent in Cooper Kupp, even though he's coming off injury, JSN, Kenneth Walker, Zach. You got enough talent there on offense to be able to make something happen, I think. So I like the Seahawks in this division here. I think that they can possibly win the division, but I don't think they are going to win the division. I think they're going to be like number 2, just right there in the division there. And I think, that's if the Rams can get their shit together here. You know what I mean? So I think it's them and the Rams. Then it's battle for 3 out of the other 2 teams. Yeah, so that's that for the NFC West. Talk about the South. Falcons should be better. They got second year with Penix, played pretty solid down the stretch. They kind of got a weird situation going on, but Penix is already locked in on the lockdown on that. The the New Orleans Saints fell flat last year after trusting in Derek Carr. This year they don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to do that. He already retired. Let it be known. Now they going Tyler Rattler, you know what I'm saying, as far as the second, you know what I mean? They got a situation there at quarterback. We got to be able to be proven here. So that alone, you're going to give guys like Alave and, Kamara, possibly specialty packages in this offense. And I think those specialty packages are going to be able to get isolated. That's going to detriment towards the Saints. But I think the Saints have showed me enough through my time of watching NFL. Don't count them out. You know what I'm saying? Just don't count them out. The Bucks, Brian Hather, should be the favorite to win this division, even though they did, even though they won a division last year. I think that this year is going to be kind of like you're watching them to win the division. And it wasn't necessarily like that all last year. It was kind of like they kind of took it from the Falcons here. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. I think right now they are the favorite. They should be the favorite. Baker Mayfield was, phenomenal last year. Bucky Irving turned it around on the running back side of things, and then Mike Evans was continuing to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver. So that hasn't changed. None of those things are going to change. I think that's going to be similar to the same there. Villa on the other side, all these guys that's playing phenomenal on the defensive side of the ball for the Bucks is going to still be there too. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm going to lock in on that. I think the Bucks are still going to be good defensively and offensively there. So yeah, all right. The team that I want to talk about that I like the most is a team that has the easiest schedule, one of the easiest schedule. Opponents is 45%. And off for the next upcoming, it's the Carolina Panthers. I trust Bryce Young. And I trust the first 5 games. We talked about the first 5 games being so important to start off with a rhythm. We said that last year when we was talking about the Commanders, and I think they went all the way out, won 4 out of their first 5. I was ahead of their curve because nobody had the Commanders coming out winning 4 of their 5 games or some shit like that. So I had that locked in last year, and I think I'm going to keep a similar approach here if I see similar things. And the things that I'm going to add that's correlating is one thing is that there was a lot of things going right for the Commanders last year that it's not happening for the Panthers. So let's throw those outliers out, like the coach situation, all that situation. Yeah, all right. But what is the same is that it's an unproven quarterback or a quarterback that you want to write off. Or you're putting a little bit of a discount on his improvement. You dig what I'm saying? Or not necessarily his improvement, but his how can I say, his potential. You actually hampering his potential. And I think that him getting better, getting additions here. So let's go ahead and talk about the draft situation. Let me see. My fault, y'all. Golly. Where am I going here with this? Bro, I'm tripping. Okay. So the coaching let's talk about what's different. The coaching staff is different. I mean, it's the same as last year. So it's nothing necessarily locked in on that. As far as like the draft, I do like to look to improve the offense. Again, last year they made strides on the defensive side of the ball, even though they were giving away defensive players. They gave away players to um, the Giants, just giving away players away, which was Burns. They gave away Burns in the offseason last year. But I think that did help them secure a a wide receiver at number 8. Um, and Terria McMillan here. McMillan, I think McMillan, he has a great chance to be number 1 wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Coming straight out. I think he could definitely come straight out and jump there. And it was not necessarily one of those moves that that was already locked in on. I think those things kind of showed me that they're willing to make a risk to make this kid better. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they had him out there with a lack of wide receivers, lack of guys that could get separation, that kind of just showed you like, well, shit, you know what I mean? Give them a little bit of grace. And I think that is going to help them out a lot here. Adam Thielen coming back here, getting another healthy here. And I think Xavier plays pretty well as well. But I think that the Chuba Hubbard is going to continue to score touchdowns for this Carolina Panthers team. And then let's be honest, them having one of the lowest expectations is going to allow them to kind of squeeze through some of these games. And their first 5 games are all winnable. In my opinion, the Panthers' first 5 games are all winnable. So you get them on a roll starting off, their first 5 games are all winnable. You never know. The Jaguars is who they play on the road the first game. They play the Panthers the second game. They play my Falcons at home and outside elements for the Falcons. That's going to be bad for the Falcons, but it is an early game, so it is what it is there. They could lose that game, but I think the Falcons, they be susceptible to lose to the damn Panthers, which is what it is. I know my team. But again, we could lose that game. They could win that game, and they could win against the Patriots. They go on the road against the Patriots following week in week 4. Then they play the Dolphins week 5. So I just told you the Dolphins, Falcons, Cardinals, and the Jaguars, and then the Patriots. Those are all winnable games for this Panthers team. The Panthers are not even scheduled to win 5 games. Like, they're not even scheduled like 5 games or something like that. Those are like 5 games. Let me see, man. I had it up here, bro. The Panthers. 7 games? 7 games? 7 games. I think the Panthers could definitely win 7 games, man. I like the Panthers. I think this is a good team that we could just trust that their defense is going to get better. Their defense got better. And I think that their offense will get better because the wide receivers, they getting it up. I like what I'm hearing from them there. So, yeah, I like the Panthers. So as far as this division, I think that the Panthers are not a winning division type team. I still think that it's going to be the Falcons to win. I think that's how I'm going to be approaching it. Even though I think the favorites should be the Bucks, like I said, I think the Falcons will still win the division. It's just that the Bucks will be consistent. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be consistent. It's just what it is. But I'm not going to go into thinking that the Panthers can't keep it tough. I think they could be tough. Yeah, so that's the NFC. Go back into the AFC. Quick fire again. Quickly, AFC East. I think the Bills will win this division. Call it quits. The Jets, I don't think you're going to get nothing out of them. Patriots, Dolphins is going to be pretty well, but all injury prone. I don't even have time to talk about this damn team. The Bills is winning this division. We may be able to find times that we could like some of these teams here week to week, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm not really looking forward to watching the AFC East this year. I'm not looking forward to it. That's just what I'm gonna say. So that being said, I'm always looking forward to going watching this division. It's the AFC North, which has been one of my best divisions to watch over the last few years. There's always parodies, always conflict, it's always historic battles, and it's always something that you could show a storyline that you could lock in on. And this first storyline I'm going to talk about, probably one of the biggest in the NFL, is the Patriots. I'm sorry, not the Patriots. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers holding out for Aaron Rodgers. They get Aaron Rodgers. They didn't have a quarterback last few years. They did have something of a quarterback in the boy, Russell Wilson, and yada yada. There, it didn't work out. Didn't work out with him. It didn't work out with Justin Fields because Justin Fields went on, got his bag. He went to the Jets. Shout out to bro. I still don't think that's gonna help. That's why I didn't even want to talk about. I don't even want to talk about that. The Jets with Justin Fields. I gotta see that. I gotta see it, bro. But yeah, man. I like this division, of course. I think that the Steelers did the right thing by holding out. They definitely did the right thing by holding out. But I think that alone is just short lived. It's all short lived after that. We got to see where it goes from there. And yeah. As far as the Browns, we're not going to talk too much about a Joe Flacco led team. Jerome Ford is the starting running back. I'm done with this team. This team is annoying. I never liked the Browns. I never will. The team that I think that has a chance to win the Super Bowl, it's obvious. It's a team that I always have fucking trust with. I got to go down this road every year. Every year I go down the same road. Every year, same road. Every year I go down the same road. Every year I go down the same road. What up, Josh? Shout out to you, bro. Every year I go down the same road. And it's the Baltimore Ravens. Every year I think y'all can win, bro. Every year I think y'all can win. But somehow, some way, when we get to the playoffs, y'all always can't beat the team I'm thinking y'all could beat. And that's just all it is. We know they're going to be great in offense and defense throughout the season. They got a situation with the kicker, though. They got to figure out that kicker situation now. So that is something they ain't never had to do since we have been. Since I know this team. They always had Justin Tucker. They don't got him this year. So that will be interesting. So they're accepting, even though Justin Tucker's been like mid, really mid. You know what I'm saying? But Tyler Loop at kicker now, y'all. Their place kicker is Tyler Loop. We have to lock in and see what's up with Tyler Loop. Yeah, so Ravens will win this division. I think second with the Bengals. The Bengals have a lot to prove, of course, and I think they're going to play really well. So I think the Bengals second, of course. It's going to be a battle at 3. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, man, we out of here though, bro. It's been a long episode right here. An hour. I just wanted to give y'all some. What am I thinking? How I'm feeling? Why do I like the Panthers so much? And then we'll just break into all that there. So, yeah, man. I think if we had to talk about Super Bowl right now, I don't want to. But I would say the Ravens, and I would say Green Bay. I would say the Ravens and Green Bay. Those would be the 2 teams I think that's going to the Super Bowl. Yeah. I think the NFC East is still the best division in baseball and football. But and the Eagles could do it again. They got that tush push still. They still got the tush push. They got the tush push. But nah, man, I think it's the Green Bay. I think Green Bay makes a leap with Jordan Love. Possibly run it up, be MVP. Could possibly be MVP. Jordan Love could be MVP. Possible. I think that's definitely the case. If he gets to the Super Bowl, it's definitely going to be the case there. So, yeah, man, shout out to y'all. I think we'll be back next week with reactions. I won't do an NFL script, but I just wanted to give y'all something, you know what I'm saying, with a little NBA twist at the end. But yeah, man, holla at me, man. Holla at y'all later.